Welcome back to the limited run podcast series, Laser Focus, presented by Hairmax. So in the last episode, we talked about how laser therapy went from a clinical tool to something you can actually use at home. And now it's time for us to go under the hood a little bit. And this is really important because there are a lot of people out there who are either already using a laser device or seriously thinking about getting one, who really just don't understand how it works. And that's not a knock on anyone. The marketing in this space is really not known for its clarity. So today we're going to fix that. And we're going to talk about things like what is actually happening when you use one of these devices. How do you know which one of them is right for you? And what does using it actually look like in real life? And to answer those questions, because I definitely can't, dermatologist and clinical director of Hairmax, Dr. Bullock, is back with me. Welcome back, Doc. Appreciate you doing this.
Good to be here.
So let's get into this one. And I want to start at the most basic level because I want everyone on the same page before we go any further. When someone uses a Hairmax low-level laser therapy device, one of these sitting here, what's actually happening?
The easiest way to think about this is our hair follicles are essentially mini organs. And just like any organ, our organs need energy to function. And especially with like genetic hair loss, our hair follicles just become a bit more inefficient over time. They need energy to grow. And so with low-level laser therapy, what it does is those specific wavelengths, they target the hair follicle and they re-energize the hair follicle, specifically the mitochondria. In the cell, you might remember in high school learning about mitochondria in the cells, the powerhouse of the cell. So specifically, those wavelengths put energy into the mitochondria and help energize those cells. And so hopefully we're able to get those cells to start producing hair like they were years before.
Yeah, I never knew that. That's very, appreciate that. Keeping it simple. Appreciate that. So here's something I'd love for you to clear up because I'm actually a little confused about this, and I'm guaranteeing others are as well. I feel like people use red light therapy and laser therapy almost interchangeably. And I've seen devices that use LEDs being marketed basically the same way as laser devices. Are these things, are they the same?
This is such an important point because lasers and LEDs, essentially as far as marketing goes, they are marketed just about the same, but they're completely different lights. So for example, LED and lasers, they both are light, but lasers will produce a coherent beam of light. And so what happens is when we get that type of light, that light is able to penetrate much deeper than LED light. And when we're talking about activating hair follicles are going to be about, let's say, 5 millimeters under the skin.
Yeah. And
if the light's not getting that deep, it's not going to do anything for the hair. So essentially both are forms of light, but where the real difference is in treatment outcomes, because essentially the goal is to stimulate hair follicles and we want the light to be able to reach the hair follicles.
It's good. Great explanation. That makes all the sense in the world. So let's talk about choosing the right product if people decide to take this route, because I mean, there are a lot of options out there. So for example, Hairmax makes a few different devices. There's the comb, there's the band, there's a cap. And I think a lot of people look at those and they wonder which one they're actually supposed to get. So walk me through it. Who is each format designed for?
So I get this question from people all the time, and there really isn't a single best device. Really, there's just the best device for each person, and for each person, it could be a different device. So for example, let's start with this LaserComb right here. This is going to be your most hands-on product. So it can be great. I like it really if you have, for example, isolated thinning areas, because you can treat, small areas with this.
Oh, there's a little timer on it too.
Yeah, exactly. Little timer. It's going to beep, and when it beeps, that's going to let you know that you have to move it.
Oh, so you move it. Okay.
Exactly. But you have to realize this is going to be hands-on. So if you're someone that's not going to be, moving this isn't for you, because consistency is key with these. So if you're not going to be able to deal with something that's hands-on, something that you're going to have to be moving, the LaserComb is not for you.
And this would be, so this is one where I'm familiar with this. You turn this one on, and then it vibrates when you're supposed to move it across your.
So this laser band's somewhere in the middle, right? Because it captures much more area, and you still have to move it. But not nearly as much as the comb. And then, of course, you also will have laser caps, and these caps will essentially treat everything at the same time. Now, something that I want to point out, the laser comb and the laser band will have teeth, and so that's great for spreading the hair. For something like laser cap, won't have the teeth, so it also depends on how much hair you have. If you've got tons of hair, you might want something with teeth that's going to help spread the hair. If you don't have super thick hair, then this laser cap might be great for you, because you don't really need to worry too much about spreading the hair, because the light's going to reach your follicles.
Oh, okay. So I do have to ask you something, and this one's kind of for me, not just for the audience. Yeah. So I'm in my late 50s, pretty full head of hair. Whiter than it used to be, but it's still there. But I notice things, right? I nothing dramatic, but something's going on. Maybe it's a little thinner here and there. And there's people around me who are telling me I'm imagining it, but I don't think I am. So I'm thinking I'm going to start using the laser band. And my question is, and it sounds like the answer is yes, because I have a full head of hair. Is that the right one for me? Is it because it's going to spread out my hair, or or do I even need it, or do I need to be further down the road? So full head of hair, use that, but at what point?
So that, I think the laser band, really, you can't go wrong with the laser band. It really would work kind of for everyone, because I love the teeth. But for you specifically, and especially, I want to say, first of all, you will notice changes in your hair before anyone. No one knows your body better than you know, right? Yeah. So I wouldn't want to be dismissive in what you've noticed in your hair. And I want to say, it's always better to treat your hair as soon as you're noticing changes. It's better to treat it when you're first noticing signs, rather than down the road when you may have irreversible damage from having hair loss.
Right.
Those hairs over time can become what we call miniaturized. Essentially, they can grow really, really, really thin and small. And if they reach that point, it's much, much harder to get results from essentially any treatment. But yes, I'd recommend the laser band would be an excellent option for you, because you've got some pretty thick hair, and those teeth would be very helpful in separating those hairs and making sure the light gets down to the scalp.
And even if somebody's not, so they just start noticing it, or maybe they're not noticing, is it still healthy to use something like that, even because it might be coming down the road and might happen?
So this really highlights one of the best parts of low-level laser therapy. Your question could be, well, what's the risk of using this?
Right? Yeah.
Essentially, the side effects, there aren't really any side effects from using this. There's a theoretical risk of the device maybe getting too hot, but with a high quality device, we really don't see that. With our Hairmax devices, that's really not a concern. We don't see that, because these are all high quality devices. We don't see overheating. Aside from that, we really don't see any other side effects.
Yeah. And how about routine? Because this comes up, I think, whenever laser therapy is discussed. Specifically, I feel like consistency comes up a lot, which sounds simple, but for a lot of people, adding anything new to their routine, that's a whole thing, So what does actually using one of these devices look like day to day? What's the real commitment?
So the nice thing is the commitment is pretty low. It really is. You can expect probably a couple minutes a few times a week. That's really it. It's not going to be hours, and it's only just a few times a week. So the commitment is pretty low.
Yeah, I was looking at the laser band, and it looked like it was 90 seconds for a few times a week.
Exactly. You really can expect just a couple minutes. It is pretty basic. It's pretty simple. It's pretty easy to add on top of your routine. And the best part is you're really just setting it on your head. Then you can do whatever you're normally doing. If you want to watch Netflix.
Feel it buzzing, you turn. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. You can still do whatever you were normally doing. If you want to do your skincare with it on, you can still use your skincare. It really should just easily easily assimilate into your normal routine.
Yeah, this is great. I love getting real answers to all these questions. Next episode, we're going to go somewhere a little bit different. We're going to tackle the skeptics head on, the folks who say this sounds like snake oil, that crowd. We're also going to tackle the bad reviews and the myths that just don't seem to die. So if you've ever had any doubts about any of this, or you know someone that that's also had those doubts, that's going to be the episode for you.